Here's how China plans to avoid the middle income trap. In 2015, the Chinese government unveiled an ambitious plan to move the Chinese economy away from low value manufacturing towards high tech innovation and to avoid what is known as the middle income trap, a scenario in which wages rise and the quality of life improves as skilled manufacturing increases, but the country in question struggles to make the shift to creating higher value goods and services. The goal of the plan was to make China a global leader in advanced industries and technologies, including robotics, cloud computing, and artificial intelligence. Made in China 2025 is a plan of action for the first 10 years of China's implementation of this longer term strategy, the necessity for which China has delineated in its notice of the State Council on the publication of Made in China 2025. According to this document, the global industrial landscape is shifting, and this shift has made industrial development a necessity. It has also presented China with unprecedented challenges, with developed countries leading a reindustrialization effort and other developing nations rising to meet their own objectives. Chinese manufacturing must now find its place in an ever more competitive international environment. The current situation requires intensive reallocation of resources and capital transfers if China hopes to be successful in maintaining growth amidst a top-down and bottom-up squeeze. China, thus, must look to the world, step up strategic deployment, focus on building a manufacturing powerhouse, shore up its roots, and turn challenges into opportunities to seize the commanding heights of a new round of competition in the manufacturing industry. With Made in China 2025, China is also hoping to grow by capitalizing on the glut of domestic demand that's been generated as more and more Chinese people have been pulled out of poverty and have developed larger pockets over time. Due to intense international backlash, however, China has refrained from publicizing the progress that it has made towards achieving the objectives laid out in Made in China 2025. Nevertheless, several steps have been taken to ensure that China meets its stated objectives. In its policy document, Chinese policymakers clearly delineated areas in which they thought the country was still weak and needed improvement. Among other things, for instance, they identified China's manufacturing industry as large but not strong, and defined its capacity for independent innovation as weak. In this post, I explore what sectors are being targeted by Made in China's 2025 initiative, what the Chinese government has done to encourage progress, what success the initiative has seen so far, and why it's important for the future of the Chinese economy. Sectors being targeted by Made in China 2000. In order to move the Chinese economy away from low-value manufacturing towards high-tech innovation, the Chinese government has identified 10 key industries that the developed world has traditionally dominated to focus on as part of the plan. They are information technology, which includes AI, smart appliances, and the Internet of Things, robotics, green energy, energy efficiency, and electric vehicles, aerospace equipment, ocean engineering and high-tech ships, railway equipment, power equipment, new materials, medicine and medical devices, agriculture machinery. What are the stated goals of Made in China 2025? The Chinese industrialization plan is anything but ambiguous. Objectives have been clearly stated and key indicators defined to set targets and measure progress over the course of the decade defined in the plan. Through Made in China 2025, China aimed to achieve independence from foreign suppliers for core industries and to enter the ranks of manufacturing powerhouses over the course of the 10 years from 2015 to 2025. By 2020, it aimed to enhance competitiveness and improve product quality in areas that it already had an advantage in. By 2025, it aims to improve the overall quality of its manufacturing industry, enhance its innovation capabilities, improve labor productivity, and reach a new level of industrialization. China's goals also include the formation of internationally competitive groups of multinational companies and industrial clusters and a target to achieve full industrialization led by innovation at a world-class level by 2035. What policies has the Chinese government implemented to achieve these goals? In order to achieve the goals delineated in Made in China 2025, the Chinese government has implemented several specific policies to encourage industrialization. These include reduced tax rates for high-tech companies, incentives to merge with and acquire foreign technology companies, and state funding for research. The Chinese government has also defined 4 concrete main strategic objectives alongside key manufacturing indicators to measure progress on these objectives till 2025. These indicators measure 1. China's innovation abilities. China wants to be innovation-driven, make innovation the core of development and manufacturing, and improve the institutional environment to make it conducive to innovation and cross-industrial collaboration. 2. Quality and efficiency. 3. Green development. Given the high level of pollution in Chinese cities, and China's reliance on imports for its energy needs, China is also heavily focused on green energy and sustainability and aims to adopt and promote energy saving and environmental protection technologies, processes, and equipment. 4. Integration of information technology and industrialization, the optimization of necessary organizational structures alongside education and training of necessary talent. How much money has the Chinese government spent to this end? China has spent an estimated hundreds of billions of dollars on its objectives, and with government funds to back the initiative, Made in China 2025 has made significant strides towards bolstering development in advanced manufacturing, integrated circuit design, and 5G networks. The Chinese government has earmarked USD 2.9 billion for the Advanced Manufacturing Fund and USD 20.2 billion for the creation of national integrated circuits. In its 14th five-year plan, China also committed $1.4 trillion over the course of 5 to 6 years in developing smart cities along with their associated devices to accelerate progress in smart manufacturing. Also worth mentioning is the fact that China has especially emphasized the semiconductor industry in its plan because advances in chip technology are central to computing and any related breakthroughs in the modern world. The successes of Made in China 2025. The results of Made in China 2025 have been promising thus far. Even the layperson will perhaps agree that China, as the Chinese leadership intended, is no longer associated just with cheap quality goods. The success of the program goes beyond just public perception, however, and according to an article published in 2017, the program had already resulted in a 38% increase in average productivity for China's first 109 pilot projects in smart manufacturing, while operating costs had dropped by 21%. The program had already resulted in a 38% increase in average productivity for China's first 109 pilot projects in smart manufacturing, while operating costs had dropped by 21%. China has also made significant investments in research and development, which have enabled Chinese firms to become leaders in key technological areas such as robotics and 5G networks, and allowed it to begin to compete on a global stage. Many of today's most popular drones, for instance, have been designed by small startups supported by Made in China 2025 grants and investments. Additionally, the Chinese government has also been successful at encouraging foreign companies to invest in China by providing incentives such as tax cuts and reduced regulation. This has led to an influx of new capital which could spur still further growth for the Chinese economy. Associated challenges. What has made the policies so controversial? Despite these successes, there are still many challenges ahead for Made in China 2025. One of these challenges is that there is still a lack of skilled labor needed to fill positions created by this program, while ongoing trade tensions between China and other countries would impede their ability to access key technologies necessary for advancement under the plan. Made in China 2025 also didn't go down well with the West and was followed by a backlash from the US and Europe, which resulted in China de-emphasizing the policy. Some suggest that the policy veers dangerously close to violating the rules of the World Trade Organization, while others question how China plans to attain the required know-how to make high-tech devices and have accused it of repeatedly stealing trade secrets using cyber espionage. The policy features of self-sufficiency quotas in certain high-tech components, which would make it unnecessary for China to trade with other nations to gain access to that technology. According to the Council on Foreign Relations, this would be a nightmare for countries like South Korea and Germany since high-tech exports are so central to their economy. According to ABC News, China has also been accused of using its strict market access rules in order to obtain intellectual property from foreign competitors. China requires foreign firms to start joint ventures with local companies in order to gain access to its lucrative market. Those companies are also often required to share their intellectual property with the local Chinese company that they partner with. In the end, Chinese firms end up gaining the advanced technology of foreign companies without needing to compete with them in the Chinese market, thanks to heavy government subsidies. And according to the Diplomat, Made in China 2025 objectives are not unique to China. Made in China 2025 was inspired by a close study of Germany's Industry 4.0 initiative. In this regard, it is not the focus of this initiative, but the intentions reflected in its objectives and execution that are concerning. In a world in which technology and innovation have become highly globalized, China has sought self-sufficiency in core technologies across a range of prioritized industries. Implicitly, and often quite explicitly, China's objective to become a manufacturing superpower implies the ambition not merely to catch up with other advanced economies, but to surpass and displace them to achieve a dominant position in these industries worldwide. The program, however, remains in place, as does government investment, which measured $300 billion in 2018 and $1.4 trillion in the wake of the COVID pandemic. Looking ahead, China's Made in 2025 initiative is an ambitious effort aimed at positioning the Chinese as global leaders in advanced technologies such as robotics, cloud computing, and AI. We've already seen success stories emerge from this program. While obstacles abound, as they do in the case of any ambitious undertaking, The Chinese have time and again shown us their resolve to excel on the world stage, and given the success of this undertaking thus far, I don't believe that this time will be different. Let's wait and see. Subscribe to our channel to stay tuned for when future videos come out.